right, I am live, I think. And I'm a little bit ahead of the hour, but I always have technology difficulties. So I've come in a bit early just to make sure I'm here. So nobody's here yet, so I'll take this moment to say hello to everyone and thank you for hearing my call. My call to come into a forum, a rather urgent one at that, as we're all feeling. Hi, everybody. And this time I've got my glasses, so I don't have to squint and try to figure out what everybody's saying. So, hi, Lace. Thanks for being here, the first one. Hello, Janet, Elizabeth, Bobby, Cindy, Corinna, Franca from Canada. Hi, Christina. So nice to see you here. Simply Sachs, love that name, from Germany. Oh, hi, everybody. I'm so glad you're all coming in. Netherlands, look at this community. San Diego, Canada, Netherlands. Lace says, everybody get a Gab account, but I'm hearing they're going to shut that down too. Mila, dall'Italia. Snowing, is that in the north? Sono 4 anni che non sono più in Italia. Lots of people coming in from Canada, UK, how tough is it there? New Hampshire, Florida, Texas. Oh, God, thank you guys for all being here. I'm just taking time to welcome everybody in. No, I'm not on BitChute either. I don't know why it gives me the squeamy jeebies. Oh, thank you, Paul. What a beautiful thing to say. Hi, Lisette. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. Gab has its own server, so it's still up? Okay. Quebec. Wow. I didn't know I had so many people in Tuscany, Mila says. Bella Italia. It's been so long. Bella Toscana. It'd be nice if I could just teleport my over there for a couple of days and teleport myself back out. I miss beautiful Italy. Buongiorno, Vittoria. Okay, we're 64 people. I'd like to wait a little bit longer before I get cracking here. No pun intended. How's everybody holding up in this insanity? Lace says, apparently Gab CEO spoke with Trump to get him an account. Good. Have any of you seen? Have anybody of you, hello, fellow misfits, have any of you seen the Twitter account of a guy named Mike? Hold on a minute. What is the name of Mr. T's son? My brain is dead. What is Mr. T's son's name? Hey, Elizabeth, finally. No, not Hunter. That's Mr. JB's son. Trump's son. I can't think of his name. It's just escaping me. Barron. Thank you so much, Victoria. So we've got a new funny, his humor never fails to reach me. We have a new account on Twitter, and his name is Mike Barron. And it's a picture of Mr. T with a mustache. And it says, I am not Trump, and this is not from the White House. And it says, I don't have a whole lot to do right now, so I thought I'd come and meet everybody and say hello and make some new friends. So check it out, because I'm pretty sure it's Mr. T himself taking the piss, as the British say. And meanwhile, he's got like 250,000 followers in a few hours. So it's very interesting. There will be nothing that will stop this man. Nothing will stop this man, in my humble opinion. So I wanted to come to you today. And again, I'd like to get at least over 100 people before I charge into my discussion, because I think it's so important for us to get a cohesive viewpoint and to learn more how to digest and share the horrific, the frightening, the hopeful news that's coming in. So I'm going to be talking about, boy, how many of you saw my interview with Dan Willis? In it, I said, we were talking about the erection. My pleasure, Judy. Thanks for all you're doing too. You know, which I call the erection flawed. And I, again, tell you that I think I'm so clever to have come up with that pun. So talking about the erection with Dan, and he was talking about the count and whatever the official line. And I said, no, there's more. There's something else is going to happen. I just feel it's going to be much bigger than anything officious. And he said, well, and he was again discussing the procedure that would have to go underway and the horrific traitor activity. And I said, no, I'm talking about, it has to be something, it's going to be something huge. It's going to be culmination. And I said, in my mind, I don't know, I somehow fantasize they're going to storm wouldn't it be interesting if they stormed the Congress and started pulling the people out? And boy, I mean, was that sort of spot on or what? They didn't pull the people out, but they did pull some computers out. And I'm going to be talking about that. So, yes, I did always say we fight when our backs are against the wall, and they are, and we are. And thank you, Lace, for your effort. So before I get rolling, I would love to appeal to you guys. There's a little $ at the bottom of the chat room. I hate to ask, but if you'd like to support me, even a small donation help me keep going here, because it's taking so much to keep the voice alive, finding ways to reach you. So if you click on that little $, you can make a super chat donation, and then your question or your comment gets highlighted so that I can be sure to answer it. Okay, and I would really love it and appreciate it. Thanks. Right. Hiya, Carol. I'm glad you're here. All right. So I want to get rolling here. For starters, I want to tell you guys that the gut punching that we're getting in the power chakra is getting to be almost more than we can bear. I mean, the first big one. Okay, Lace, I'm writing it down. I will definitely check out Gab. Needless to say, the erection, sorry, mustn't say that other word. We can talk about erections, but not elections. When we had that terrible news that night, it was like my power chakra went. And it happened again when Barr pulled the rug out from under him. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Thank you so much, Carolyn. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And if you have a question, please ask it, and it will go to the top of my list here. This time I didn't feel that gut punch. Like I was saying at the beginning, I made that statement in the video. If you haven't seen it, please watch that last video I did with Dan. I knew something was huge about to emerge there, and that it wasn't going to play out like they were saying it was going to play out. And, it's architecture. I really think that most of us can understand that this was architecture and designed for the end that we're going to see play out. So, first of all, please be strong. And I know it feels like he, I'm going to just keep saying he because we're not supposed to say his name. How's that for a little censorship? Oh my God, thank you, Suzanne. Yay, I really appreciate it, you guys. So grateful. Thank you for doing that, for choosing to make a donation instead of a cup of coffee outside. I really am grateful. Where was I? The news that's coming out. Wait a minute, I got to backtrack. Back to not feeling the gut punch this time, and that feeling, that sense that this is exactly the way it's supposed to play out. And when Mr. T made the statement, I want to backtrack now to the statements. Oh my God, thank you guys. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for your donation. Much, much appreciated. All of you. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, what was I going to say? So filled with gratitude, I can't think. And by the way, I most like you. Yikes! Thank you, Deneen. You guys rock. Thank you for supporting me. You're an angel. I love you. Thank you, Elizabeth and Deneen. All of you. Thank you all for being here. So what was I going to say? Because I think I'm having senior moments. And by the way, I'm about to turn 6'9". My birthday's in a few days. Oh my God. So I think I'm going to be having more senior moments as the days go on. Anyway, I want to talk about, for starters, let's just completely forget the mainstream. There is no truth coming out at all. It's gone. Forget it. Not going to come back until it's completely destroyed and recreated. And someone, I think it was Michael Jaco, said, Trump is a builder. He knows how to tear things down and rebuild them. And that's what he's doing. Thank you, guys. It's not my birthday yet. It's 4 days away. I look stunning. Thanks, doll. Yeah, thanks, Alexandra. I have no hangups about being my age. I marvel at the fact. It doesn't feel like I've been on this planet for 69 years. Oh, Debbie, you're always there. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. So, you only see a black screen? I'm here. Can you guys all see me? Oh, you're an angel. Look at you guys. These donations are so exciting. Thank you, Barbara. How sweet of you. I'm really grateful. And Quantum Healers. Yahoo! Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, that's nice to know that I don't look 69. Oh, my God. Don't feel it either. It's a funny thing about aging. I love the process. And it's important to be natural, in my opinion. I'll never have a Botox or anything. And to celebrate all the wrinkles as part of experience. And just, but you do look at yourself going, man, this thing is shifting daily. I think that beauty is when your light shines out from your soul, out through your eyes, and it lights you up. And that's all that matters. So, well, this is a Pat Cori Love Fest. I could do this all night. You're wonderful. Thank you, wonderful people. All right, let me get to the subject at hand. So when Trump was standing outside and he gave us that sad speech about they took it away from us, first of all, it was green screened. I don't know how many of you are aware of that. Oh, okay, should we just wait and get all the compliments and then I'll get on with it? Because it's hard to be serious when I'm getting all this love. Thank you, guys. I'll have to do this more often. It's wonderful for my spirit. I haven't been live for a while to you, and I don't know how much longer I'll be able to, because as you're all too well aware, everybody's getting shut down. And, you know, there's this, you know me, I'm a fire. I don't know how to contain myself. I don't know how to suppress my thoughts, and never have. But it's getting dangerous now. Now they're not messing around. So anyway, I'm going to do my best to give you the point without necessarily saying the words. And I won't be putting this, I doubt that I'll be putting this up on my YouTube channel, because I want to be able to speak more freely. Lace says, please go live more often. Do some cooking. You want me to cook for you too? Thank you, guys. I got some new people coming in today, so thank you. Oh my God, I can't believe all these wonderful donations. Thank you, Paul. So grateful. And thank you, Know All Is Well. What a great name. Michelle. All right, you guys are being wonderful. That's great. Thank you so much, Michelle. Oh, you touched my heart. Thank you. It really helps me keep going here. All right. So when Mr. T was standing outside and he gave us that sad, sad speech, they took it all away from us, from you, from me, from America. He was standing in front of a green screen. How do I know that? Oh, love. You're always there for me, Wes. Thank you, sweetheart. How do I know that? Well, first of all, it was completely silent. He was supposedly outside of the White House, which was not that far from Congress. It was completely mayhem. There were sirens everywhere. It wasn't completely silent outside the White House. And I examined it closely. It felt eerie. And sure enough, I could see that the background was blurred. And it wasn't a depth of field situation where he was in focus and the background was blurred. There was actually a green sort of a edge to his body, totally, absolutely green screened. So he was not there in the White House. And of course he wasn't. He was on his way to Texas, right? So I don't know where, I don't know where that was. You guys are flabbergasting me. All this support. Thank you. Now, how do I pronounce that? Enuj? Enuj. I'm loving it. Thank you, dolls. Thank you. Very grateful for your support. What do I mean by green screen? Green screen is when you've got a green screen behind your subject, and then you project whatever you want into the background on the screen. So in the background was projected the image of the White House exterior, and in the foreground was Trump standing in front of a green screen of a projected background. He wasn't there. And also green screened were the other two, I think one or two others, where he said, and read my lips, he said, I will not attend, I will not go to the inauguration on January 20th, which immediately the mainstream picked up as him saying, I will not go to the inauguration of Biden on the 20th. Biden was never mentioned. And then even Breitbart, which is a alternative source of news that I've always screened, also said Biden. And I'm like, no, sorry, that is not what he said. So they're imposing a concession speech that he never made. He said, I will not go to the inauguration on January 20th, which I immediately, always the scrutinizer of language and optimist, I said to myself, what he's telling us, it is not going to happen on the 20th. Not that he's going to concede to Biden. So I want you to hold that in your hearts. And when you hear other people telling you he conceded, no, he didn't say that. No, Carol, I'm not saying it was a fake video. I'm saying he wasn't there. He was, the background of the exterior of the White House is not where he was. He was saying those words in a studio. Perhaps on a military base, I don't know, but he wasn't, and he would have been insane if you think about it. Knowing what's going on right now, he would have been insane to be standing outside, unprotected, outside the White House with what was going down. Thank you, Cheryl. Much appreciated. Thank you for your donations. How kind of you. He would never, think it through. I have a right brain, but I've also got a pretty strong left brain analytical mind when I need it. So I'm looking at this going, why would T in a moment where they're after him. I mean, they're coming for him. We know that. Why would he be in such a hazardous position as to be standing in the middle of all this mayhem outside with no protection? I mean, who could have protected him? How many military would it have taken to protect him if they stormed him? He wasn't there. So you can look at it carefully, and you can see the green line around his body. It's a green screen situation. Oh, it's getting dark. I hope you can still see. And then when he gave the speech supposedly inside the White House, where he said, I'm not going to be there. I'm not going, the exact words, I'm not going to the inauguration on January 20th. Why? Anybody's guess. But in my humble opinion, the plan has been enacted. And I don't mean, I've been the first one to say, I don't completely trust the plan. But I do believe there's a military plan underway. And it was triggered, I don't want to say purposefully, but let me backtrack here. So they're using this event, of course, to utterly destroy what's left of the public opinion. And I'm talking about mainstream of the president, that he incited the riot. But the interesting thing that's coming out, which I find most delightful, is that I've been asking people to validate what they post. And I think it's so important now. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this talk is to ask you all to be meticulous about what you post. Vet it first. We have no room for error here, okay? So like somebody said, he said he was conceding to Biden. Another one said, no, he said he was conceding to the military. Another person said he said he was going to bring General, God, I don't know why my brain is freezing. Pat, come on now. I think I get shell-shocked when I'm on screen. At any rate, many things are flying around and they're incorrect. And the place to go for this, Flynn, thank you, God. And I didn't even have any wine. It must be the cappuccino. Yeah, somebody said he was going to have, he announced that Flynn was going to be his VP. And that's absurd. He has made no gesture that he's going to continue to fight. He gave his other speech, also green screen, where he said, I did everything by the book. Now, I'm not quoting him because I don't have the exact quote. But quiet, girls. I did everything. I pursued all the legal, sorry, my dogs are activating, as usual. I pursued all the legal channels. And, hold on. My dogs. And the Congress declared Biden. So there should have been a so there, but it wasn't. He said, now we have to be in peace. I'm calling upon you to go home. Go home in peace. In peace. Yes, Rob. Yes, words are important. So important. And that's why I'm calling on. One of the reasons why I'm doing this video is to call on people to be extraordinarily meticulous on what they're sharing. Because, let me remind myself where I was. Calling on you to be in peace. Because my voice is being distorted right now? Please click. Okay, somebody said there's a black screen and someone else said my voice is distorted. What's the story? Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Okay, well, okay, that's good. There's also the problem of technology. It could be interference too. I'll just keep talking and pray for miracles. So I was saying that he said, now is the time to go home in peace. We need peace now. And Debbie, Thanks again. You're an angel. What a support you have always been since we met. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your contributions. I'm nonplussed. Right, so when he said, I'm reading your message, sorry. When I quoted Mr. T, it went crazy, yeah. This is why I'm doing this live, because as those of you that are here will be able to hear my message. I doubt I'll be able to get this up without getting smashed on YouTube. When he said, go home with peace, he was following the doctrine of the Insurrection Act, because it requires that the president, before it can be activated, he has to appeal to the people to stop, cease and desist, and go home, and to choose peace, choose the peaceful alternative. He did that, and then he disappeared. So I think that many of us are recognizing that something is underway here. And in my opinion, and of course they want us to believe that he conceded. He has never conceded. Don't buy it. Lizette says she's been kicked out. How does that happen? How does somebody gets kicked out of my live stream? Come back, Lizette. It's so hard to keep my focus when all this is going on in the chat. What was I saying? Hold on. That shocked me, so I lost my Kabbalah is distracting me. No way, Jose! Jeep Sahara, a name I love, says, it broke my heart seeing him distressed. It did mine too. It broke my heart. I have this intense mama bear love for this man. It just keeps growing and growing. I just want to protect him. It is so strong. And I think a lot of us feel that. And, okay, so a lot of people are saying they're getting kicked out. Interesting. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to come to you guys. We are in such a difficult time. Anyway, what's very interesting in all of this is that we now have, okay, I'm going to have to not look at the chat for a minute because I can get this thought out and then I'll get back to you. I was hearing that, and it makes total sense that we have military infiltrated in the ant group. And in fact, I've been talking about that for quite a while. Of course, we have spies, counter spies, counter spies. I mean, this is really right out of a science fiction movie, right? I mean, it puts Dan Brown to shame. So when I started hearing that while the insanity was going on, military, disguised as ants, disguised as Trumps, swooped up the computers of some of these Congress people, can't use any gender. I was praying that this was true. And I called out to people who were reporting it and saying, do you have a source? Does anybody have a source? Because right now we cannot spread misinformation. We're all we've got, okay? We are all we've got for information. We have to be meticulous. I don't want to hear it was channeled from the 17th dimension. I want fact. I want us to do our research and to share truth as we understand it. And that's another subject I want to talk about, but back to Nancy. Apparently they've got her laptop. And this is confirmed by General McInerney, there you go, who is, I don't know, a multi-decorated general who is on the white hat team. And he confirmed today that they've got her computer, that's the one. General McInerney talked about, thank you, Raga Gold, Special Forces grabbing P's laptop. And that would explain why she is out of her mindness, out to the nth degree of her mind in rage and calling for, Trump, sorry, I'm supposed to use code. T has, the 9th, 11 days left, and she's calling for everything. I don't have to verbalize it. I'm trying to be aware of the words. Thank you guys for reminding me of the things that she's calling the Congress to do to this man. None of it makes sense that at this point anybody would give a damn with 11 days left, unless it's because they know he is trouble, big trouble for them individually. And so there was some allusion to what was on that computer having to do with the connection to the ant. And so I want you to bear in mind what that would mean to my unfavorite person, Big Nancy, if it were discovered and uncovered that she was colluding with the ants, right? And she is unwrapped, unglued, incensed, crazy. And, trapped animals are dangerous, but I think they're also messy, sloppy. And I think that this was a sting operation. It went according to plan. And even though we have no more media and we have very little social media to report it, I don't think Mr. T was caught off guard here. I think this was a plan. And not a plan to incite riot, a plan to reveal the final snakes, the final rats scurrying from a sinking ship. So I want to remind you of that because it's so painful right now. I've compared where we are to being on the Starship Enterprise because I'm such a trekker, it's ridiculous, to being on the Starship Enterprise, always with Kirk, because that's the only version I loved. And they hit a nebula and they have no communication systems, right? If you want to see any of this, just go back to the original Star Trek series. It's like every third or fourth series they get stuck in a nebula. And no communication, no nothing, no engines, nothing, just floating in the nebula until they come to the other side and they come out in another universe, right? We're in that nebula right now. And we're about to come out to the other side, to another universe. And that's what we've been talking about all along. We who believe in ascension, we who believe in breaking away from the old crust and the claw that has held us, our planet, beloved planet, in this tyrannical reptilian control system. We're in the nebula between these two realities, and it's unfolding as it should. So I wanted to come to you with that. Brent says, nebulas are bad. Don't go in nebulas. Nebulas can be frightening, but if they are the passageway from one universe to another, can do. So here we are. We're in this nebula. We don't know where our president is. But he's safe. I can tell you that. And when I say that, I don't love when people make absolute statements of truth. Drives me crazy when people declare that they absolutely know the truth. Nobody knows the truth. Absolutely. You know the truth as it appears to you, as you understand it, but you don't know the absolute truth. Not even Mr. T knew the absolute truth, or he wouldn't have gotten burned by several people who stuck their knives in his back. So not even T knows the truth. The truth is a constantly changing story. I mean, absolute divine truth is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the truth of this situation. It has constant mutations. That's why when I said in a former video, I got another compliment, sorry, distracted. When I said in a former video that I didn't trust the plan, some people got incensed. Patricia Cori said she doesn't trust the plan. And I got some negative feedback about that. And my point was, no, I don't trust any plan. And you know, the thing about the plan is keeps changing. And then when it changes, the purporters of the plan say, well, this wasn't expected. And I'm speaking right now about the information about the Italian connection, the Italian job, which has come out. And so people that talk about the plan say, well, it's mutated because this element has appeared. So they're having to scurry, someone said, to deal with this element because now it's bigger than we thought. Now it's NATO involved against America. And I was like, well, wait a minute. It's either a plan or it's not a plan. You can't say the plan is totally laid out years in advance and then say, oops, well, we didn't expect this. Well, then what kind of a plan is it? Right? So when I say, I'm screaming. When I say I don't totally believe in the plan, maybe you really understand what I'm talking about now. Don't buy somebody else's truth completely. Gather information. It's our job right now to do that because our sources are diminishing. So we have to gather information. Don't buy into anyone telling you they've got absolute truth. Don't buy into anybody telling you this is the plan, period, because we're in a nebula, a constantly mutating space, floating. We're in free fall until we find the ground and know what is our next space. Good Witch Ma says, very true. I understand what you mean. The plan has changed so much. Yeah, and I think that it's so important. Yeah, I know that, Elizabeth, but I'm not talking about the divine plan. I'm talking about the plan that everybody is supposed to lay back and trust. If anybody tells me to lay back and trust, I get uncomfortable because we don't, on the one hand, we spiritual people talk about the sleeping and what's it going to take for them to wake up. And then on the next breath, we're supposed to sit back and watch the plan and trust the plan. And, you know, the common vernacular is to get your popcorn out and watch the show. Not me. I want to be involved. I want to understand. I don't want to kick back and observe. I want to help wherever I can. You dig? So that is why my position about the plan drives me crazy. The more I hear it, the more it irritates me. Trust the plan, get your popcorn out. Yeah, I don't think so. I want to do what I can to be present, to help everyone. And the plan can change. Thanks, Janet. The plan can change and is and does constantly. And before I go on, I want to thank those of you who went to, speaking of being active, who went to Washington. Debbie Kramer, thank you for being there. It took courage to be there and discomfort being in the freezing cold. And those of you who were able to be there, congratulations to you, because you are part of the most incredible revolution, perhaps ever on the planet, but certainly in millennia. Yeah, Angela says, yeah, that popcorn thing gets me too. It's so offensive to me. It really irritates me. Get your popcorn out and watch the show. I mean, how diminishing that really is. We're putting on a show here. This is no show. This is a struggle of darkness and light. How dare anyone say, get your popcorn out, trust the plan, and watch the show. I don't like it, and I hope you feel the same way. Lace says, lay back and trust. What am I in the dentist chair? That's a great line, Lace. So I am calling on everybody to join in this difficult information moment where we need to communicate with each other, to provide as much as we can, as based in truth as we can find it, not truth because you simply know the truth because you're a spiritually evolved human being or you're pulling it in from another dimension. I would never do that to anyone. I would never sit here and say to you, the Syrians say this is the way it's going to play out, and therefore that's the way it's going to be. It is not appropriate. And I would never, and have never said, follow me, I know the truth. I always temper my information with, this is what I understand to be true, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. And I'd love to see more of that out there in the community, because far too many people are taking this position that they know the truth and that eventually everybody will come to them, and this kind of nonsense. I don't like it. I want you to scrutinize it, because never before have you needed to use your discernment to get to the truth as you understand it. Thank you, Good Witch Mama. That is a beautiful thing to say, and it is so important to me. So important. Thank you. Right. What else did I want to say? I had the misfortune of, in my search, just brushing up against CNN. Honestly, we have nothing left. There's no news. They've got the media, and they're shutting us all down, as you're well aware. And I don't know how far that's going to go, but it is very possible that we're going to have that blackout that we thought we would have. The 10 days of darkness may very well be coming. So if you're also listening to the other statement that Mr. T made, he said there will be a giant voice. You have a giant voice and nobody will be hurt. They won't let anybody get any of you be hurt, or something like that. And then the military comes out and talks about the giant voice being the public broadcast system being put in place. So this means that when they're ready, which could be any minute now, the public broadcast system can shut down all communication. Now, I'm not probably telling you guys, because I know I'm preaching to the choir here, anything new, but I just want to be sure that we're all on the same understanding of what's going down, because people are so scared. A lot of people are telling me, please, Patricia, give us some hope here. And I was like, I don't need to give you hope. You just need to see what's going down. You don't really think. And by the way, I have hope to spare, so hope empowered is my bag. But you can't really think, from what you know about Mr. T. Hold on, Carol, I will answer your question. You can't possibly believe that this man is, oh, well, that's it. That is not his persona. And in the time that I've been supporting him, which is well before a lot of other people came on board, I might add, I have watched him step into his dignity more and more and more. Step into the flame of that power. Step into the mission he was born to do. And this is not a man who walks away from a fight. To say that it's a fight is the understatement of the millennium. Because now we know. First of all, we know it's not about him anymore. We know that this fight is about taking down the country. We know that this fight is about taking down the planet. And it's been underway a long, long time. Angela says he's not the same as he was when he came in. He certainly isn't. He has stepped, you can see this man becoming more and more luminous, more and more empowered and clearer. And he's got a glow about him now that wasn't there at the beginning. I think he was just like, wow, here I am in the White House. This is a trip. This is going to be really a challenge for me. And, bearing all the hatred and all of what he's had to put up with has not made him weaker. It's made him stronger. This is something very important for all of us to remember. It has made him stronger, not weaker. So, yeah, he stepped into his power. Yes, I did notice the glow. I did. And I believe that he's got his family in safekeeping. And that's important because they want to destroy him. And I just want you to contemplate what it means. Oh, mighty Aphrodite, why am I making you cry? Why am I making you cry, sweetheart? Hopefully, it's a beautiful emotion. Because I cry out of joy and happiness too. Oh, that's what I thought. Wonderful. That's good to hear, mighty. I see him in his power. I see him psychically in safekeeping. And I believe that when he said, I tried every avenue to do this through the legal channels, that there was a ... that he didn't speak. And we need to listen to what he's not saying. Like, I will not go to the inauguration, blank, 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 on the 20th. Right? And when he said, I tried all the channels, there was a ... And so now we're going to military, is what I believe was implied. We shall soon see, because it is January 9, and we need to see this enacted within 48 hours, I would say, from now. Something huge has to happen. Meanwhile, just remember, they've got, I don't know how many laptops from these people. These, I'm going to try not to use any derogatory names, but you know what I'm thinking. Starting with, can I say Pelosi? I gotta say it. There's so much power. Thank you, Maria, and thank you for being here. There's so much power to the words he doesn't say. But, if you go back and listen, I invite everybody to go back to listen to the two short speeches he made inside the White House and the one he made outside, which broke all of our hearts. I mean, I saw him choking on the words, and I just wanted to just cry. But I looked at it again and again and again and again. I've looked at it about 20 times. And I discovered that it was a green screen, first of all. And I kept telling myself, what is he not saying? What is he not saying here? And that's what I get. I tried every legal, I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something like, I tried every legal vehicle available, but they took it away from us, from me, from America. You haven't seen them. Okay, I will posting them is tough. I'll find a way to get them to you, Debbie. Also, when he gave his big speech, Debbie, you were there for that. He was saying, we're going to be it's time for the transition of government back to the people. He said that openly. So that speech was made in the public, huge square. And then that was followed up with when he said about a peaceful transition. He had already said transition to the people, right? Oh, Barbara, what a beautiful thing to say. Thank you for that. I'm grateful for that, sweetheart. Thank you. So anyway, we are at the point now where they're calling for him to be, oh my God, they want to kill him. They want to arrest him. They want to, it's 11 days. Why would you care? And then Pelosi said, this man is insane. He can't have his hands on the nuclear codes, all this nonsense. It's 11 days. He's blow up the planet. So please join me in being meticulous about the information that you absorb and share. And if someone tells you they plucked it out of the universe, great. I mean, we have some wonderful channels on this planet. And I just ask that you scrutinize it and be discerning, because the best information you can get right now is from him, what he's not saying. And even if he's having trouble getting to us, there are people that are available still. Like one person to keep your eye on is Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch. If I were to say right now, where would be the best source to go for truth, it would have to be him. Judicialwatch.org. Okay. Soon it would time the good guys to strike. There is nowhere else to go. I agree. There has to be a response to what Pelosi is trying to do. And it has to be swift. And the problem is, with every hour that goes by and they spew more lies, I mean, the lies are shocking. And people are believing it. And that is what I said on Facebook. I think it shocks me more than the lies themselves, that people are believing these lies. So what we're going to get, brace yourselves. Because when this truth comes out, there's going to be some ugly, horrifying truth. It has to be presented to the people. And I think a lot of it is going to be the horrific images of child abuse, it's not just sex. It's horrors beyond anything that a decent mind can even begin to contemplate. And it's going to have to come out. Something has to come out to condemn unquestionably these people and the case that they've built around and about this man. Mighty Aphrodite says, time to rip off the Band-Aid. We can do this. It's like with the question of disclosure. Stop already. Just bring it on. We don't need this filtering because we're not emotionally capable of dealing with it. We are grown-ups, old souls. Bring it on. Let's get the pain over with all the way. And let us see what we've got to deal with. But I do want to remind you that they've got her computer. And like I said, when I first heard it, I started asking everybody, does anybody have any proof about this? Because it was too important to share as a rumor. And when McEnany, which I probably don't pronounce correctly, came out and verified it, top general, we've got, I think he said they have got her computer. And there's damning evidence there. This is why she's striking out like a viper, like a multi-headed viper, because she's scared shitless. Okay? And I just want to say also, shame on these people. I mean, it's been weeks now I've been saying that every time I look at, I hate to mention his name, the VP, I would see an image of the replaying of the scene in Julius Caesar where Caesar is stabbed in the Senate and the last knife to go in is Brutus, his best friend. And the line that he delivers is et tu, Brutus. Yours is the unkindest cut of all. And you look at Mr. T and think, wow, how many people have betrayed this man? It's unthinkable. I mean, think about just how painful it is if somebody says something bad about you on internet. It's painful. Imagine the pain that he's had to endure, the humiliation, the subversion, attacks at every level, but betrayal to that degree. It's unthinkable. Unthinkable. To be full of holes from all these stabs in the back, and then have a man that you honored for 4 years or more stick his knife in your gut. And yet, I've always said, I was always wondering why the VP got one of those envelopes at the funeral. You know what I'm talking about. Never trusted him. He has the ickiest energy I think I've ever seen. And he played out who he is. So when people tell me I know the truth, I know all the truth, the plan, I say even Mr. T doesn't know all the truth. Look at the people that he's trusted and have betrayed him. It's constantly changing, morphing. But I think we're on our way. Thank you, Ada. I really think, excuse me, even Leffler. And I didn't trust her one bit either. I remember when he was there campaigning in Georgia, and she was standing there, and I was like, who is this? Judy says, Simon Park sent out an email, action starts in a couple of hours. Simon is somebody I respect. Let's see the action. I'm also tired of people saying, and I'm not referring to Simon necessarily, but it does trigger me to say this. I'm also tired of people saying that they have direct line. Excuse me. Water time. That they have a direct line to Mr. T or to the White Hats, or they have inside info. Really? Maybe. I guess I'm overly cautious, but in the how many years, 23 years that I've been a public person, I've done my best to vet information as best I can. Because when I speak to people, and I'm so honored to have so much trust from so many people, I want it to be truth as I understand it. And I don't always trust what I hear, especially now. News is flying, excuse the vernacular, shit is flying everywhere. And wasn't it great when he said that's a bunch of bullshit on stage? I just love the fact that he is so human and natural and unpresumptuous and real. And when he said that's a bunch of bullshit, it's bullshit on stage, the crowd went ballistic because everybody loves that realness. And so I try to be as real as I can for everyone all my life. And I question, and I invite you to question everything. And in all of my books, it says, even this information. If it doesn't ring true for you, put it down. So just always remember that if somebody is talking to you or telling you they have information and not empowering you with it, but rather empowering themselves, question it. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Because I've been talking quite a while now without taking a breath. Tracy says, heard Pence and Pelosi were arrested. This is what I mean, Tracy. Do you have any proof of that? Do you have a reference? Do you have, because the rumors are flying, and so I don't know how she could have been arrested yet, but please, if you've got a source, I would love to hear more. Yeah, good point. Gizmo Ellie says so much news, fake news from social media, and it's supposed to be sources. Just keep digging. Dig, dig, dig. Just because it's social media or alternative media doesn't mean it's truth. I'm not on Gab yet, but I've promised Lace I'll check it out. Yeah, the trying to be, how do you do this with guarding your language? All roads lead to Rome, and it's coming down too. I'm reading. Mr. P. I don't even want to give him the title of Mr. What he did was despicable. So, yeah, and another important information that's coming out is that in the Italian job, Obama is involved in that. So read up on what's going on with Italy. All right, well, I'm open for questions, and if not, I will leave you to your peace. And I just want to say again, thank you all. I'm so grateful for your donations. It's very special. And I'm so grateful that you're here, paying attention, listening, contributing. And I want to remind you, do not lose the faith. This game, it's not a game. This fight is not over. Read my lips. It is not over. And there are more people than just Mr. T who are fighting for the life of the Republic. And I'm not even including the 80 million or more patriots. I'm talking about people in positions of gov and mil who are fighting to win. Do people know if it was just acting or if people really died? There's another one that's full of rumors. It sure is more glamorous if people died as far as the power against Mr. T. So the woman, Allie, I don't remember her name, was a 14-year Air Force trained military person. Would she really have just put herself into a position to be shot with no protection? Is a question people are asking. Then, as I said, there were people, good guys, dressed up like ants, dressing up like patriots. Ashy, yes. I'm so embarrassed that I didn't even know her name, remember her name. But I don't know if that's a real scene or not. It's very hard to know what's real right now. But one thing I feel in my gut, and always remember that in that interview I did with Dan, I saw it psychically. There's going to be more than just the official ballot, but erection flawed drama. It's going to be something huge. I wonder if they're going to, I fantasize, I think I said I fantasize or I visualize them storming the building and yanking out the Congress people. But they didn't yank the people out, they yanked the computers out, which may be even better. Gizmo Ellie says, thanks, Patricia. I love your discernment. You have been at this a long time. You're one of the only ones I trust. You know, having your trust is something I take so utterly seriously. It is my mission, truly my mission, is to be a grounded spiritualist, to empower the other, to help people see fearlessly what's going down around them, and to help usher in the shift, the great age upon us. And I've been doing this a long time, and I will do it until I die, which hopefully isn't going to be soon, although I am going to be 69 in 4 days. Oh my God. Thank you for your trust. I promise you, I will never betray your trust. Never. And that I have that from so many of you is a great, great gift in my life. Yep, a grounded spiritualist. Lots of peanut M&Ms. All right, everybody, I guess I'll let you go. It's hard. I would love to keep talking, but oh, thank you for all the happy birthday wishes. Maggie says, I understood last time when you didn't trust the plan. I'm not big on trust either. I trust Trump. That's it. Yep. I trust this man. I look at him I all the time. I read his body language. I see his heart. There's no fooling me about this one. And I know many of you feel the same way. So thank you. And thank you for all the compliments. Not bad for an old bag, huh? It's the olive oil. Lots of olive oil. Being Italian, we have an edge on the world because olive oil is part of our diet every day. So be positive, guys. Feel strong. We've got this. We've got this. It's going to play out in ways you... How can I make a serious statement when No All Is Well says I'm going to buy olive oil? You sweethearts. You are the best. What a wonderful family you are. You're always there. And thanks to all the new people who are in too. Thank you, guys. All right, so I'll be leaving you now. I doubt that I'll let this go up because I'm sure that it'll be a big thorn in my YouTube status. So, and another thing I've got coming up is I will do another forum, another town hall where we all can speak to each other. I'll put that up. Let's see. About 10 days from now, we'll have another forum, which also will be, will never be posted. It'll be live only. I could fit up to about 70 people on that. So I will post about that and come on in. I ask for small donation and come on in and air your voice and show your beautiful face knowing you're safe. Thank you. And thank you for all the compliments and all the birthday wishes. But most of all, thank you for being aware and awake and empowered and full of love and all the wonderful expressions of love for Mr. T. I know he's feeling it in the ethers. Just keep him in your prayers. Just keep him in your prayers and see him safe, not weak. Remember, his mantra is, when you're strong, look weak. He looks weak right now. Don't believe it. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. My love around you always. Ciao. This is Patricia Cori signing out.